Hi guys, Megan here. I'm just going to go in and do a edit for y'all. I've had a lot of feedback on this photo and a lot of people really seemed like they really enjoyed it. So I'm going to show y'all how I did it. I, of course, use Greater Than Gatsby. I live for that collection set. Everything about it is great. You want to make sure, starting off first and foremost, that you have a good basic knowledge of Photoshop, how it works. Whether you're in ACR, Lightroom, only strictly Photoshop, it's completely up to you. I use ACR and I branch over into Photoshop for just about everything. When I'm working on weddings, I will work in Lightroom, but for this, I specifically work in ACR. I just find it easier to navigate. So I'm just going to kind of show you guys where it starts. So this is the photo that I'm going to be editing. I'm going to try and remember exactly what I did for the last set. If it's off just a little bit, it's no big deal. It won't be too far off. So I'm going to go in. I don't really need to adjust anything on the exposure. This is SOOC, like straight out of camera, so you don't, it's a pretty solid foundation to work with. But I am going to mess with a few sliders. So I'm going to bump the contrast a tiny bit. I'm going to bring down my black some. I'm not going to bring up the whites. I'm going to bring them down just a little bit so that way you can see a little bit of detail here in the flowers of her little flower crown. I'm going to pop the clarity, pop dehaze just a tad, add a little bit of texture and vibrancy, and then I'm going to go ahead and split tone, which it's already kind of preset for where I usually like mine. Let's go here into highlights for the curves and just kind of play with it a little bit. That's about good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and open it. Okay, so I'm going to start over in the Portrait Retouch collection, just really quick. And I'm going to run just Natural Beauty Smoother over her skin. She's got really gorgeous skin. You obviously don't want to do too much on, toddler skin because their skin's already great. You don't want to do a whole lot to it. So I'm just going to go in and just kind of smooth out it just a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to go here into the skin tone palette. I'm going to play it and I'm going to grab Peachy. It's one of my favorites. And I'm just going to brush that over her entire face. Alright, I'm going to grab Soft Glow Fair. No, let's grab the Warm. This is what I did. And I'm going to just brush that oh so gently over her face. Alright, so now let's go into the All Over Eye foundation. We're going to zoom in. And you guys can see that my photo is very sharp. You want to make sure that you have very sharp images to begin with. You don't want to sit there and try and enhance something that's blurry, if that makes sense. So I basically use all of the eye enhancements. You can go in, make sure you adjust it to your liking. You don't want it to be too much. I'm going to drag a little bit of eye white here on this side because it's kind of hidden by shadow and I just kind of want it to all be in sync with each other. I'm going to grab lashes and brows, make my brush a little bit smaller, and just kind of brush it in. Real quick, real easy. You want to make sure that you're careful on this because you don't want them to look like they're, wearing too much eyeliner or mascara or anything. So definitely go in and adjust it to be, age appropriate. So that looks pretty good on that. So let me go ahead and close this down. I'm going to go ahead and remove this right here because that's bothering me. You can remove it however you seem fit. You can select around it. You can select around it and clone it. You can. My computer keeps going out on me. However you choose to get rid of it. I'm just cloning it because that's easier for me. Okay. Alright, so now let's go in and we're going to add a little bit of Hair So Healthy It Shines. lightly brush this in. Okay. And last but not least, let's do Paint Me Pretty. And I'm just going to brush that on her pretty little face. It's just a very, very pretty thing. Okay. That looks good. Let's brush some down here too. Okay. That's good for that. All right, so now I'm going to go into the Painterly Portrait collection. And we are going to play. Okay, so you guys can see my background is obviously already very blurry. It's very creamy, but this kind of just enhances that just a little bit. It's called Perfect Punch. It's background blur. And I'm just going to kind of brush it over. It kind of smooths out the little bokeh lines, if you will. You don't want to do too much because then it'll look fake. Alright, and now I'm going to go here into Innocence Workflow. I'm going to grab Butternut Vignette. It's one I play on just about every image, and I'm going to play it. So that's going to give you that really gorgeous, pretty warmth that if you guys follow a lot of my work, you will see that I do a lot of Butternut Vignette. Okay, this is just Revive Skin. I'm just going to paint it over. It's just going to kind of help keep her skin nice and clean. Let's go into Newborn. No, we'll just go ahead and stay in the Retouch collection just so that way you guys can see that you can stay in one collection. I just have a system that I do and it stays. Alright, let's see. I did not add one of those last time. Let's just see what it does this time. Maybe I'll like it. This is Fine Art Finishes. So you want to go in and play it and then drop it down. And I like what it does to the background, but I'm going to brush it off of her about 64%. I want to keep her nice and clean. Grab Skin Glow. I'm just going to kind of tap that on. Now I have also used Skin Glow over my whole image before, and it just kind of gives it like a really pretty clean finish on everything. Alright, let me grab my matte. I grabbed Matte Dillon. It's a neutral matte. I love it. Just kind of drag it down wherever you like it. I'm going to keep the background matte, but I'm going to brush it off of her because I want her. And I'm at about 64%, so I'm just going to brush it off of her like so. Okay, and one more thing before I finish up. I'm going to go to Innocence Workflow and I'm going to grab my ColourPop brush and I'm just going to paint it on her little dress right here. Alright, that's about it. So her cheeks already have some really natural rosiness to it, so I'm not really going to do much on that. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and close it down, and I'm going to go in, I'm going to sharpen it. I sharpen for every image. It's kind of bring it up wherever you need it. It looks good to me. So you guys can see good and sharp, good and solid. If you want to go in, you can go in and clean up, you know, some of this little dry flakiness that she's got going on in here. Oh, and one more thing I forgot. I'm going to go in and I'm going to enhance her freckles just really quick because I love freckles. And it's just going to kind of bring those back out. Gotta keep the freckles. Alright. So that's it. There you have it. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. If y'all have any questions, let me know. I'm going to put the link to my Gatsby site in the description, and I will talk to you guys next time. Have a good one.